Hey, what is going on, guys? My name is TamezTech. Welcome to a new video. Today we're going to be taking a look at two different teams. We were running these teams during my birthday stream yesterday, September 5th. So forgive me if my gameplay isn't the best. We actually ran 4 different teams, I believe. 2 of them did not succeed. So if you want to see those, go check out the Twitch VOD. Unfortunately, I'm not making a video on those. But the first team we're going to be taking a look at is the KANTO trio. We're actually using Venusaur lead, Blastoise safe swap, which is a really safe water type to use right now. And we're using Shadow Charizard in the back, of course. The second team is a pretty decent meta team we built yesterday. We're using Gastrodon lead, Shadow Primeape safe swap. I believe the non-Shadow might be able to put in the same amount of work here and there. And we're using Fearow in the back, rank 1 Fearow, by the way, which is apparently one of the most common rank 1s in the entire planet. If you go check out the Discord, you'll see what I mean. But yeah, without any further ado, let's go ahead and check out these battles, huh? So once again, we're starting with the KANTO trio. Let's see what lead we get here. I do remember I misplayed a few games. That's kind of on me. I'll let you guys know which ones those are, but Wigglytuff lead, insanely good for us. We overfarm a little bit, switch into Blastoise, and I guess my opponent didn't want the smoke because Blastoise is just a really good answer for Dugong. Once again, amazing lead for us. We get Gastrodon in the lead. They swap into Dugong again. I don't understand why people are using Dugong so much right now, but okay, I'll take it. This opponent doesn't leave though, so we're staying in here. We're gonna full send the Skull Bash here. I could have overfarmed a little bit more here before throwing my Hydro, so that's a little bit of a misplay by me. But it doesn't seem like we would have gotten to 2 Hydros anyway against that Gastro. So if I didn't throw that early though, I might have been able to throw a Skull Bash into them. And that would have done a little more damage. They come in with a Moltres. We know from our previous video that Moltres can farm us down all the way, especially with Ember instead of Dragon Breath. So we're going to go ahead and chip and dip. We do take a shield, which is pretty good. And we're just going straight Air Cutter here. We know Venusaur can deal with that Gastro pretty comfortably. So we're just trying to get rid of this Moltres as fast as we can, right? 4 charge moves have been thrown here, so they can switch into their Gastrodon here. I'm going to save this Air Cutter just because I still need to deal with that Moltres somehow. Swap in Venu. If they have Earth Power, this is going to hurt quite a bit. They do. They have Earth Power. They're insanely based. So at this point, I have to farm down this Gastro all the way, which we are able to do. And we just Blast Burn the Moltres in the back. So a little bit too close for comfort there with them running Earth Power, but like we saw in the previous video, Earth Power, it kind of is the way to go with Gastrodon right now. We see one of the most terrible leads for Venusaur in the next game. We see Corviknight lead, and then they swap in a Ferret. I believe this game is going to be a little bit rough to win. Ferret is just an incredibly neutral Pokemon for this team, and Blastoise, while still being probably one of our best matchups here, unfortunately, we're not going to be able to get too much of an advantage here. Even getting that shield advantage, it's not great because they fully farm us down afterwards. We can't get to another Hydro. So we're kind of sacking Venusaur here, trying to get rid of this Ferret as fast as we can. I thought about farming down with Charizard instead, shield 1 farm down, but unfortunately it was just the Sucker Punches would have done too much damage. They have Carbink in the back, of course, and we're pretty much just fully RPS that game. Once again, terrible lead, Corviknight lead. I'm going to swap instantly now. I did a Vine Whip and swap last time just to have a little bit of an energy lead, but this time my opponent is staying in, and they bring in Annihilate. So a little bit of a misplay from them letting me get this much energy because I'm going to get double Hydro before them. And I believe with all the energy advantage, we might even get a third one since they're a non-Shadow Annihilate. So this Rage Fist shouldn't knock out, and we might get both shields down. Yeah, it doesn't knock out, so that's pretty amazing for us. That's really good stuff. We're able to take both shields. Now at this point, I really don't want to take this counter damage on my Zard, right? So I think I'm just going to throw right away because a double boosted Rage Fist damage would have done quite the number on us. Unfortunately, they have Basti in the back, and that pretty much seals the deal, right? Sometimes when you see an Annihilate swap, it's pretty much guaranteed that they have a very RPS monster, a very RPS Pokemon in the back. Yeah, we were not wrong. This trainer, I mean, they have a really weak Pokemon in the back to most of the meta. We try to catch an Air Cutter there, get some play in. This Shadow Blast Burn is going to do a lot of damage, but we're still going to need probably over 2 Frenzy Plants to actually knock out this Bastiodon. So unfortunately, we're not going to be able to take this game. Basti is a problematic Pokemon for this team, especially since it's everywhere right now, since people don't really know how to play other Pokemon. Shots fired, I guess. But let's go on to the next match. We see Greedent here. I guess you could call this an old Titan, but I don't think Greedent was ever that good. I think it was better in the Ultra League. But I guess with the Body Slam rework, it might see a little more play this season. Frenzy Plant does a lot of damage. I didn't really remember Greedent's Bolt, so it looks like we could have gone for Double Sludge. We do see MP on the move here, so since they seem pretty scared of my Venusaur, I'm gonna farm up, catch a Body Slam on Blastoise, but I really miscount. I guess the pacing on Greedent isn't too shabby because they are able to get to a Trailblaze here. I thought this was another Body Slam, but it is a Trailblaze. Thankfully for us though, they come in with an Azumarill, which is insanely bad for our Charizard, but it's still too much work for Azumarill to be able to bubble us down, so they're gonna have to throw a move before we get to our next Skull Dash here. Which they do. So now we can come in with Venu, and they swap out into Altaria. So this is a little bit problematic for us, right? I think this game isn't going to be a win, unfortunately, just because Altaria is a little bit too bulky. They are going to outpace before we get to our second Blast Burn, but I don't want to throw my Air Cutter because then they're just going to be able to vastly overfarm, right? So they throw their energy. They should be about dry right now. Unfortunately, these Dragon Breaths are doing a little too much damage for me to handle. I should have thrown my Sludge right away there because we know we outpace the Asu since they don't have energy. But I take a little too many Dragon Breaths, and I have to say this loss was on me. If I throw my Sludge instantly there, we actually win that game. But I try to overfarm for some reason, and it cost me the game. Dusclops lead in the next match. We're able to successfully catch an Ice Punch here, which is pretty good for us. But Dusclops is staying in, and it looks like they're going to play this out. I'm just going to keep overfarming because I'm in fear that they might swap out of here after like chipping and dipping and whatever. But no, we see MP on the Hydro here. The next Shadow Punch is still not going to knock us out. So we should be able to play the zeros here regardless. I overfarm, play to the CMP tie. My opponent makes a good catch here, but I believe this K-Wack is going to have to shield anyways. Yeah, we successfully get to another Hydro Cannon there. Thankfully, they didn't sneak when they swapped in. They just fully sacked their K-Wack, which is, I guess it's fine for me. To be fair, I did have double answers to it in the back, but that's cool. They Ice Punch here. I was just really hoping they were Shadow Punching, but I guess they kind of read me there. I throw the Sludge baiting for a shield, but they don't fall for it. Thankfully though, it is a Corviknight in the back, so with Ember Charizard, we're pretty much in a good spot. Another tricky lead in the next match. We see Altaria in the lead, swap in Blastoise right away. They come in with the Dedenne. This is a pretty decent thing to bait out. This, if you take a look at our team, it's kind of an ABB to Electric line, right? So we're double weak to Electric in the back, but I believe Blastoise has more play than Charizard. I mistakenly try to go for a Skull Bash here. Really big misplay by me. We still have quite a bit of play here. Dedenne doesn't want to deal with Venusaur. It's a very problematic Pokemon. They bring in Sand Slash, so we're able to swap in our Charizard here. I guess they have double counters for Venusaur, so that's why they played it this way. We play to the CMP tie on the Air Cutter here, and they do shield, right? So they do take both of our shields down with this A-Slash, unfortunately. I'm kind of just spamming the Blast Burn here. I want to get rid of that Dedenne if it comes in. Surprisingly, they come in with Altaria, which is so strange to me. So we get to the double Blast Burn, and this Altaria is pretty much dealt with. Yeah, we can actually even Ember it down. So that Dedenne in the back can't really do much against the Venusaur, and we just take that game pretty easily. Okay, Gastro lead. This is the type of lead I want to see. They swap into a Dragonair, and I'm like, okay, you know what? We have good pacing to Sludge. I'm just gonna chip and dip, My opponent doesn't shield. That basically means I can fully roll out down here. They can get to a wrap and an aqua tail, but with the energy lead they got, they shouldn't be able to get to double wrap, which once again shouldn't knock out. And we should probably get to 2 hydros, but I think I'm just gonna full send the skull bash here, because we probably don't survive that second mud slap without the buff. They bring in Togekiss, which is a little bit tricky for us, but we're gonna bring in Zard, throw our air cutter right away on the CMP tie. For some reason my opponent shields that. I believe that's a bit of a misplay. I just threw my air cutter to get my turn back, but I guess I didn't lag a turn on entry. It's just a little bit difficult to to realize that in the middle of a game. But I mean, we really just have to keep shielding our Zard here, right? Togekiss is a problematic Pokemon for our team right now. We call for the catch there. We're successfully able to put our Venusaur onto this Gastro. They don't seem to have Earth Power, so we get the farm down. We have Sludge ready for Togekiss, and that's a good game. On to the next match here. Decent lead. I believe this KWAC could probably 2-shield farm us all the way down. I catch a Hydro Cannon on my Blastoise, but unfortunately, since this is, a Drill Peck, sorry. Since this isn't a Shadow Empoleon, we actually don't 2-shot with Hydro Cannon. So this might be a problematic Pokemon for us later in the game. I'm going to keep throwing on good timing since the second Drill Peck still doesn't knock out. So I'm going to do, I'm actually going to throw right away here because they're 1 away from their move. But yeah, so you can see the rollouts don't quite knock out. This is a little bit of a problem for us. I should be able to Ember this down. I was hoping I'd get a second Ember there, but we don't. Surprisingly, once again, they come in with a Charizard. With their Togekiss, we full send the Blast Burn, and that's a GG. I believe people don't realize that the Charizard is single weak to Mud Slap. To ground. So honestly, those Mud Slaps with a 2-shield advantage, they could put in a lot of work there. But thankfully for us, they weren't able to take that game. Let's go ahead and check out the next team. Once again, we're checking out Gastrodon, Shadow Primeape, and Fearow. Alright, so let's go ahead and check out these new battles. Once again, there's a team on the left, all the IVs and moves and good stuff. We see an awful lead in the first match. Really based Venusaur pick. We swap in Primeape. They throw 2 Vine Whips, which gives us a little bit of an energy advantage here. We are able to throw on good timing here, so that's pretty good for us. We're able to force a shield, and I believe Primeape has done its job at this point, right? It would be a mistake to 2-shield here, just to go like down 2 shields, because Fearow can't really take a Sludge very well, right? So we're going to come in with our Gastro. We know it doesn't have a lot of play into that Venu, so if we take a little bit of damage here, that's totally fine. We are able to only take 1 Shadow Punch, so we're going to farm up to the Earth Power, bank it, bring in Fearow, see what we can do. They bring in Stunfisk, which honestly, now that we have Drill Run on Fearow, it's not really an amazing answer to us, right? Especially up 2 shields. So let's see what we can do here. We do have a little bit of an energy lead since they swapped out a little late with their Venusaur. They didn't react too fast. We shield up the the discharges, of course. I was almost able to catch there, but my clock wasn't up just yet, so I'm gonna keep farming up. Unfortunately, their clock was up, so they're able to snipe me with a Sludge. If I throw on good timing here and throw 2 Mud Slaps, we might be able to win this game. I thought Earth Power would knock out. Unfortunately, it didn't. So if you throw on good timing there, we're able to take that game because the Stunfisk is pretty much out of energy. Tough lead in the next match, but this is good to deal with here instead of with our backline. We do lose the Zeros here, and this Azu is smartly going for the Ice Beam. Weirdly enough, they seem to try and go for the Play Rough on the second one, so they actually allow us to get to this Earth Power. Maybe they thought we were trying to catch or something like that, but yeah, we're able to get to this Earth Power before them, and we pretty much keep alignment. I hard pivot into my Primeape just because they play that a little bit strange. I feel like my Gastro might have more play in the back, and they no shield the Rage Fist on their Dusknoir. It does so much damage. They miscount and they take the full farm down. So they actually allow us to force a shield. I believe my opponent instantly threw the Shadow Punch there, which they did, and it's a Bastiodon in the back. Now, I don't know if anyone told Bastiodon, but Drill Run is double super effective, and that's going to do a tremendous amount of damage to them. So pretty good game there. I'll take it. We are kind of triple weak to Bastia with this team. Okay, here's a weird lead. Quagsire does beat us with double Aqua Tail. It should be able to knock out, but we are able to force a shield with Earth Power. Smartly though, my opponent catches the Earth Power on Salamence. Very good play by them. I believe I can survive this Brutal Swing since it's resisted. So we are able to force a shield out of the Salamence and maybe just get some farm with our Fearow afterwards, right? Shiny Shadow Salamence maxing up at 1500. That is a big flex. Okay, it seems like we're just going to throw away our Gastrodon here. I guess that is the play since Quagsire doesn't really have a lot of fast move pressure into us. So let's see if Fearow can take this game. A little bit scary with the Scizor coming in. This is a lot of fast move pressure, but once again, remember, Mudshot is double resisted, so we're not really scared of that. We're scared of the charge moves. Thankfully, my opponent doesn't catch there. That was their big win con there to save their Scizor and farm us all the way down, but they don't, so we were able to take that game. We see an amazing lead in the next match, and we don't really super need switch advantage against Bastiodon, right? I do feel like my Fearow might have a little bit more play than I'm giving it credit for, so I am going to shield the Power Gem on the Corsola and see what they want to do. We do outpace to the second move, so they are going to have to go down shields if they want to keep alignment, which they do. And at this point, I feel like Fearow has done plenty of work for us. We can let Fearow go. Unfortunately, we don't get to that last drill pick. This is a rank 1 Fearow, by the way, so you're never going to get there if you have another Fearow. They bring in Altaria, a little bit tricky, right? But Ice Punch should knock out. And if they want to bring in their Bastiodon into this matchup, be my guest, trainer. You are never farming us down. So they keep staying in. I keep over farming little by little. I really don't want an Ice Punch to be caught. But thankfully, my opponent, for some reason, they just fully stay in. This is a matchup they want to play out. Maybe they thought we weren't running Ice Punch, but once they saw we did, it was a GG. On to the next game here, we see Malamar lead. I'm actually excited to try out Malamar. It seems like it's kind of back. There's not really a lot of bug type damage lately. They swap in Jellicent, so this is a little bit tricky, but thankfully we had a really good answer with Fearow here. We bring in Fearow, we can easily tank one Surf, and we should be able to pace to the second drill pick on good timing. So if they want to throw on alignment, which they do, you can be my guest. I'm just going to keep farming up with Fearow, have a little bit of energy for that Malamar in the back, and see what they want to do. They do shield this move, so we go ahead and combo play with the Gastrodon. This Earth Power should get rid of this Jellicent, which it does. They bring back in the Malamar, and at this point I'm thinking, you know what? I have almost a drill peck, or actually a full drill peck on my Fearow, and I need this shield for my Primate. They catched a Body Slam on their Gastrodon, which is a pretty good play. I would have gotten to the Earth Power if they didn't, so respect on them for that. We bring in Fearow, and they throw their Body Slam right away. Pretty smart from them. We bank the Drill Peck because we know we beat Malamar CMP wise, so we're just going to bring in Primate here just to get rid of this Gastrodon. We throw the Ice Punch right away. It should do a little bit more damage than the Rage Fist. Malamar comes and farms us down, and it's a CMP type, but once again, Fearow has an insane attack stat. It's a little bit higher than Charizard, so we're able to win that CMP tie and get rid of that Malamar at the end. On to the next battle, Talonflame lead. We saw in the other video the other day, most Talons think you're running Water Pulse, right? So we always farm up to the Earth Power, bait with the Body Slam, and we get the bait right. So if we had Water Pulse here, it wouldn't have mattered. A little bit of a misplay by my opponent here. They actually shield a Body Slam. Maybe they were scared of the counts. Water Pulse is a newly buffed move, so a lot of people don't know too much about it. We do get sniped by Abomasnow here. A little scary, but since they're on Leafage now, we can pretty confidently bring in Fearow here, thankfully. So we'll keep farming up and up and up. I try to throw on the CMP tie there, but I don't really know the Leafage counts, so I guess I'll take it. They bring in Talonflame here, they Flame Charge, so I can throw 4 in the move, but they actually bring in Empoleon in the middle of that. So at this point, I'm just like, you know what? I just need to use my Primate for something here. If they want to knock me out right away, be my guest. I just need to get to back-to-back moves, and I should be able to get rid of that Talonflame in the back. They are still 1 away from a move on Talon, so I can throw 2 more pecks just to guarantee that this will knock out. Throw the Drill Peck, and that's a GG to my opponent. we're going against Ludwig here. Okay. Wigglytuff lead. A little bit tricky, right? We really don't want to see this with our backline. It's a little bit too much fast move pressure, even for Fearow. So we're going to go for these body slams. I actually don't want them to shield a nuke, right? So I'm going to purposely not farm up to my Earth Power, throw these body slams and see what they want to do. I actually mistakenly played to a CMP tie here. I thought we won that, but we didn't. But that's okay. This is decent farm for Fearow to get. So let's get 4 pecks here, pretty much 1 away from the drill peck. And I make a big mistake here. I thought Turtonator was a lot squishier. So I actually do 2 and the drill peck here. My opponent calls my bait and it doesn't knock out. So that's a little bit sad for us. Now they're able to shield this and have a lot of energy left over. They'll swap out into a Gastro, and honestly, this isn't too terrible. You know, these Mud Slaps are double resisted, so we are probably able to get to another drill pick here and put in some decent damage. If I full send the drill run though earlier, it would have pretty much been game over, right? So at this point, I'm gonna throw 2 Karate Chops before the Gastro can get to their next move. I could have thrown 3, I guess, but at this point, I don't think I need a charge move to get rid of this Turtonator. 2 Karate Chops do it. They could have Brutal Swing, but it would have not knocked out. So GG to my opponent there. Okay, we see Quag in the next lead. Once again, tricky Pokemon to see. I'm going to be a little bit more careful about throwing my Earth Power here. Make sure it's not caught on the Salamence. So let's see if they catch. They don't. Okay, so we're able to full send this Earth Power. And we put him into 1 Mud Slap range. So my opponent smartly instantly throws her Aqua Tail, make sure they get their damage through, and they bring in Togekiss. I kind of want alignment here, right? I'm a little bit scared of having my Primeape lined up into this thing, because we're probably just going to get fully farmed down after 1 shield. So I'm going to bring in my Fearow. We can easily tank 1 Aura Sphere. Maybe I should have shielded that move, but we're going to get heavily outpaced here, so I have to get any advantage I can here, right? Thankfully, we do get to another drill pick, so that's the rank 1 Fearow for you. You'll be able to tank an Aura Sphere and get to 2 moves still. And now we bring in Primeape. This is going to be a really tough Karate Chop farm down, right? And they do get both of our shields. So I'm thinking at this point, I really need to be able to successfully beat something in the back, and it's another Primeape. So yeah, this was a little rough. If they didn't have close combat, we might be able to Karate Chop them down, but they do have close combat. They one-shot us, so they just take our shields down and they take that game. Unfortunately, ending on a loss there, but I will be showcasing this team again tomorrow. I'm going to be using it for my full 5 sets. I believe this team has a little bit more play than I gave it credit for, so hopefully if I can play it a little bit better, I can showcase it a little bit better for you guys. Either way, let's get on to the question of the day, and we'll get this video over with. The question of the day today is, what made you interested in PvP? I remember when I started playing Pokemon Go, the collection aspect of it was really fun and all, but it kind of got old pretty quick, right? And after seeing that they added the PvP aspect, and I saw King and Poke AK fighting on the championships or whatever, I got pretty interested in the timing and the typings and all that, so that kind of got me into the groove of competitive Pokemon. But yeah, you guys let me know what made you interested. Was there a particular creator that did it for you? If you want to keep hanging out and talking a little bit more, feel free to join me on my Twitch. Feel free to join the Discord at the link below as well. I post a lot of TikToks, Instagram, Twitter, so I'll see you guys around. It was great to talk to you guys with this video, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye.